video. We are back with this quad, and yes guys, there are a couple of things I need to sort out on this thing, like the steering. It's way too hard to turn this thing, and even you can see like I have to push it a lot to get this thing to turn. And yes, the other thing is the rear swing arm. It's perfect, it's not bad, but guys, with this setup, like with this stretched swing arm at the back, it's kind of a hill climb machine instead of a wheelie machine, so I cannot do wheelies on this thing with this stretched up. So yes guys, I have to shorten it up so that I could just do wheelies also on this thing. So yes guys, and even gear this thing down so that it could have even more torque than now. So yes guys, let's just jump into the build and move on with the steering issue first. Yes guys, I was talking about the steering issue, and the steering issue is, look at what's happening to the wheel. So here is what's happening. So with this it's having positive, and when it goes up, it just goes to the negative camber. So yes guys, the way this setup is done, it's having positive and negative camber, and because of that I cannot see whether this thing is having any bumps there or not. Let's just figure out a way to get rid of this whole thing. Perfect. I could adjust the positive and negative camber according to my desire by this bolt over here, which is perfect. And yes guys, this much of travel right now I'm getting. I could go more lower also. Guys, yesterday I took it out at the dunes, and it wasn't running perfect at all. It took me like 15 minutes to get this thing fired up. And yes guys, after firing it up, it wasn't having that much of power while riding it out. So guys, I came back home and checked it out. It was just running on two pistons, like only on one and the third one. The second and the fourth wasn't having any sort of power at all, because we can check that thing with this exhaust pipe over here. So when this thing is, like when you're starting up the bike, you can check up which pipe is getting hot and which isn't. So yes guys, the like the first and the third was running, and third, like the second and the fourth wasn't having any spark, and the pipe wasn't getting any hot. So guys, I have removed out the spark plugs. I have got a doubt whether they are perfect or not, because they came with this bike, so I didn't change them up. So guys, I have got a new spark plug. Let's just jump over and install the new spark plugs and see whether this makes any changes or not. Yes guys, before fitting it out, let's just check out the spark gap, whether it's right at the specification for this bike or not. Yes guys, got all the spark plugs gap evened out. 0.7 mm is what this engine required. So yes guys, let's just jump over and install them. It's kind of a tight space to get all the spark plugs installed, because yes guys, I have to work it inside there. Make sure to tighten it with the hands, so that at end you can use the socket to tighten it up, so that it does not cause any cross threading and all. Guys, after installing the spark plugs, it turned out like the first one, third one and the fourth one got spark, and they was running perfect, but the second wasn't running at all. So yes guys, For the second one, I did open up the float screw over here, well check whether there is petrol in there or not. And yes guys, the second one wasn't having any fuel. I thought maybe it's clogged up, so I just tried to free it out, but still there wasn't any fuel. So I have to open up the carburetor. I had to. I had no other option. And yes guys, what I have found in there was the float was struck close, and because of that it wasn't getting any fuel in the second one, in the second carburetor. And because of that because of that it wasn't running. So guys, I freed it up, so hopefully now it will run on all the four cylinders. Like, got the carburetor installed. Let's just fire it up and see whether all the four pistons are working or not. Yes guys, all the four pistons are working. Guys, got the front suspension sorted out. It's perfect. It's having a tiny amount of bump steer in it, which is perfect. It's an off-roading machine, so it does not have to be perfectly zero. And yes, there is slight bit of camber and caster on this thing, like positive and negative camber in the wheel, which is perfect. I'm pretty happy with how this thing turned out. And even guys got the four cylinders, like all the four pistons are working. Like it was running on two pistons, and the two wasn't working, so now it's running on all four. That's perfect. The only thing remaining right now is the rear swing arm. The rear swing arm, I'm thinking to shorten it up by 2 or 3 inches, so that I could do wheelies on this thing. So let's just open up the rear swing arm and move it out on the table so that I could just shorten it up. Okay guys, so let's just cut out 2 inches out of here. So the next step is to clean this thing up, like move this excess metal out of here and design it to the shape, the swing arm to the shape, so that it just goes in, and I could weld it back. That's what the thing is. Got the swing arm cutter, and yes guys, I have not welded it up yet, just because I want to see the alignment before tacking this thing into its place. So to check out the alignment, I'm going to install this back up there, and also guys, see, hopefully guys, it's perfectly aligned up. Like the chain should be aligned up, and even the ratio, like the distance between both the tires, the rear and the back and the front tire should be perfect. Both sides should be same, and even the sprocket should be same. Then I will just go ahead and tack it up. First alignment and then tacking it up. So let's just get this thing installed. It is kind of heavy, like I think so it's around 10 kg of this, the weight of this thing, around 10 to 15 kg the weight of this thing. The weight is because of this tube box which I have used over here. It's a little bit thicker, like it's almost the wall thickness of this tube box is around 2 mm, so because of this weighs a lot really. So let's just jump over and install it. and hopefully I don't have to align up, like cut out a lot to get this thing aligned up. Packed up, so let me just remove the swing arm outside so that I could entirely weld it up. That's a better option so that the weld could be perfect. It is assembled up back together, and yes guys, even sorted out the shock, now it's perfect. As you can see, it's perfect, the shocks are perfect. Now the main concern of me is, can this thing do wheelies with this swing arm setup, or still I need to shorten it up? Finger crossed guys. So it's too late to test it right now. So tomorrow morning I'm going to take this thing out there and see whether this thing is able to do wheelies or not with this setup. The engine has got plenty of power. I think so it's about 55, I don't remember exactly, 55 horsepower for piston engine. So maybe with this setup it could do this sort of wheelies. And even guys, I have changed up the front sprocket from 16 teeth to 13 teeth, which did increase the torque on this thing. So yes guys, hopefully guys, the final test result will be tomorrow, and we'll see if this thing is able to do wheelies or not. Guys, look at what I had found. I robbed it out of a power wheel. This was the wheel cover of a power wheel, and yes guys, they fit perfect onto this rim because this size is 8 inches and this rim is also 8 inches, so it fits perfect. And yes guys, it's looking perfect. The only downside is that while filling up air into the, I cannot like easily fill up the air without removing this plastic cover. So yes guys, it comes in two pieces, so I have to remove this to get this thing aired up. Other than that, it looks perfect, it's turning out perfect. So let's just jump over and install to the other four wheels, the rest of the three wheels. Got all studs removed from there. It is smaller one, and so I'm replacing them with this because they are bigger ones, and it will help me hold the plastic cover over on the top. Two holes, so let's just install it. Done. So for the rear, I made this so that I could just use two bolts over there to get this thing mounted out, and then later on I could just tight up the wheel cover over here. So let's just get this thing installed. Got all four installed, and yep, it turned out pretty good.